Hey all, and welcome back to Sonic and the Black Knight. We're gonna move out into the open areas of the world now and check out the next level, Titanic Plane. I've been meaning to ask Flame, what does the blacksmith actually do in the game? Because I've noticed you've been getting a lot of miscellaneous items and whatnot.
Ultimately, what his main purpose is that you can go in there and you can add on different equipment and that to power up Sonic. I don't think I actually use it because I never have. Your sword as it stands is fine and there's no real reason to. I think there are some other gimmicky ones that you can get as well that change the music in certain levels and things like that.
Yes.
But other than that, I am pretty much just a basic bitch, use the setup that it gives me and it works kind of player.
That was a little bit jank back there, I'm not gonna lie. But just on the subject of equipment and whatnot, wouldn't it have been cool if you could actually get armor and whatnot for Sonic and it had various effects? Maybe not necessarily making him OP or anything, you start the level with a certain amount of rings and you get a nice cosmetic bonus on top of that, or you get certain, I don't know, keychains for Caliburn based on certain stuff in the Sonic franchise. I know that would have taken a lot more effort to implement, but you know.
It would be cool if they could get the armour to actually look good. I'm just worried when I think about that, of it ending up like the abominations that were the Sonic Adventure 2 alternate character skins.
They look fine.
I don't ever want to see that. No, they don't. They're these really off-putting, skin-tight suits and whatnot over the furry characters. It looks terrible.
Well, whatever floats your boat, I suppose. Richie, what's your take on all this? And also Titanic Plane, mate, which honestly it's a bit sparse, but it's really nice looking aesthetically.
I know, and also it clearly takes inspiration from Stonehenge. I mean, you can pretty much see Stonehenge there in the background, and I'm pretty sure the boss fight that we're going to take on is going to take place pretty much at Stonehenge, which, funnily enough, there's an origin story for Stonehenge in Geoffrey of Monmouth's History of the Kings of Britain. Basically, I can't remember exactly when it is in the story, but Merlin goes across to Ireland and by some kind of system of pulleys and so on and so forth, brings the stones back over to England, and I'm pretty sure it makes for the final resting place of King Uther, if I recall correctly, but I might be making that one up.
Arthur's father, essentially.
Yes, but definitely the whole thing of Merlin bringing them across the sea via a system of pulleys. I don't know how he worked that one, but that is definitely in the History of the Kings of Britain, which is just a really quite fun thing.
Why did Merlin, the magician, need to use the work of man in order to accomplish this goal? Why didn't he just go bippity boppity boo and levitate them across the ocean?
Because in the History of the Kings of Britain, he wasn't a magician, he was sort of more of a seer type thing, he prophesied things. It's more so when you get into the Romance era of Arthurian lore that you get more magician, wizard Merlin. Before that, he's just sort of more just a guy who can sort of see into the future.
Oh, here we go, the best part!
Oh yeah.
Yes. Well, that's more so after the boss than before it, but yeah.
I love how they translated his Lego shoes into medieval attire.
Yes, ye old Lego.
Ho! You dare mock Sir Gawain, Knight of the Round Table?
I miss Dan Grainer's Knuckles so much.
Oh, I know.
See, the thing is, I really like Dan Green as a voice actor, but to that end, what I'm hearing now, I'm not hearing Knuckles, I'm hearing Dan Green.
Fair enough, mate, but you work with what you got, I suppose.
Yeah, but when what you got is Dan Green, that's kind of a good problem to be stuck with.
I guess so.
Sound just like that knucklehead too.
Here we go.
You have defied King Arthur. This place shall be your grave.
Serious Sonic game for serious adults, guys. Sonic Team has finally nailed it.
Yeah, this is what Shadow the Hedgehog was trying to be.
This one's a little bit trickier than the Lancelot fight, because, Knuckles, he doesn't chuckle, unlike Sonic, which is a huge lie, but that's for another playthrough. He's a lot more frantic, I'd say, here, and that can drain your shield very quickly if you're block happy, so get in what you can, block a little bit, and then back up where necessary.
His timing takes a little bit to get used to, because you notice he has that really long pause before his second attack, which can trick you the first couple of times you fight him, because it seems like just a couple of frames longer than what you would expect it to be.
Yeah, also, I want to just point out, whenever you're in these fights, the way that you get the 5-star ranking is not getting hit. Every time you get hit and you lose your rings, that basically drops you down a ranking. So I think, like, after 4 hits, you basically, that's a 1-star immediately if you make it through.
Oh, very nice.
So, basically, the game you want to follow is patience, because that's how I got through all of these.
Yeah.
Let's have a look here. Got some trivia about Gawain. In the Arthurian legends, Gawain is said to get his strength from sunlight, hence why he is called Knight of the Sun. What else we got here? Gawain's set character style is Paladin, a power type style. This refers to Knuckles himself being a power type character. As Gawain fights with 2 swords, he can be considered ambidextrous, and according to the Arthurian legends, Gawain, in the legends named Gawain, is the nephew of King Arthur.
What's up with all this drama?
Yes, so he's the son of Arthur's sister Mulgose or Anna in some iterations, but also of King Lot of Orkney. And his brother or half-brother tends to be Mordred, aka, you know, the one who's gonna, you know, deep six Arthur in the end.
Well, I think Gawain learned an important lesson here today. Don't kill yourself, because you're more useful to your king alive than dead.
Basically,
Yeah, they did go a lot darker with this than I would have expected, but you know, it's just amplifying the characterization.
I like the juxtaposition of just like Sonic not giving a shit, because he's like, ugh, fuck this. Like, if I wanted this sort of drama, I would have stayed home and gone on a date with Amy or something, you know?
Basically, yeah.
something else that I'd just want to bring up with Gawain is that one of his most famous stories is Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. Which, funnily enough, there's a very famous translation and edition of that was done by one J.R.R. Tolkien.
Oh, okay.
Which is really quite cool. I've actually got the copy of that in my various kind of plethora of books, because that was one of the things that I studied at university. And it's a really quite fun story that is actually kind of different to a lot of other standard medieval romances. It follows the same arc in that there's a party, the Knights of the Round Table are celebrating, everyone's happy, something occurs, Gawain goes on a quest, but it's a quest because, you know, he lobbed off a guy's head at the party.
Oh.
And the guy was just like, yeah, I'm going to allow you to do that, but then in a year's time, you're going to have to come to my place, and I get to, you know, give you exactly the same treatment. And because, you know, he does it, he then has to go on the quest to where the knight lives and face the blow, but ultimately he just gets a small scratch on the back of his neck and is a little bit fooled. And then when he gets back to the castle, he's a little bit disillusioned by everything. It's a bit of a miserable thing in the end, but it's more of a deconstruction of the typical romance arc. Another of the more famous Gawain narratives is the wedding of Sir Gawain and Dame Ragnell, which basically sees him being forced to marry a really, really ugly hag, who, once he marries her, she turned into a beautiful woman because there was a curse on her of some description. It's a little bit of a sexist narrative, but hey.
When was this fucking written, exactly?
I mean, yes, exactly, so I can forgive it for that.
No, you don't, it's not even like you don't need to address it. Like, I'm not stupid, I understand what context is, you know.
No, we've got to write a call-out post about it, don't you know?
Ah, that's right, Gawain is cancelled, everyone. Remove him from the game, post-haste.
Well, I mean, to be fair, from having a quick look at the Wikipedia page, apparently, and I'm not sure the truth of it, as you got into sort of later Arthurian lore, he did start to become a little bit more ignoble in some of his actions. I don't think he was quite as popular as he once was. But then again, to be fair, in Chrétien de Troyes' version of Lancelot and the version of Lancelot that we tend to get, he basically ends up going off with Arthur's wife Guinevere, and is not exactly the best person in the world either.
It's not cool. It's not cool, man. You don't treat your king like that, you liege.
I know, exactly. I mean, it's better than some of the other versions of Guinevere's, how shall I put it, lack of faithfulness, because in some versions of the narrative, she ends up having an affair with Mordred, aka Arthur's nephew.
Okay.
That's just a bit weird.
Let's leave that there.
but-
We've spoken about more enough. Let's actually address the level that we're fucking playing through here. Sorry, guys. I tried to break him out of his reverie, but alas, when Richie talks, I listen because it makes it a very easy edit after the fact. So, Crystal Cave, very nice looking. Has some neat gimmicks, like the swinging on the crystals, like on the ceiling and whatnot. Going up walls and so on. But Flame, what's your take on it? What would you give it, like, out of 10?
I don't know how I'd rank it, but I will say it's a pretty level, it's got some good music, but those archer fuckers are the bane of my existence, because it's so, unless you soul surge every one of them, you're gonna get twatted sooner or later, just because it's so hard to dodge them when they're shooting at you.
Oh yeah.
Agreed, mate, agreed.
And that's basically my takeaway from it. They are the reason why I didn't try to perfect that old game. Them alone.
Well, what else we got here? Rescue the town people, alright? That is part of the chivalric code. We shall do just that. Richie, your take on the Crystal Cave go?
Yeah, I really like it. It's a fun level. I wouldn't say it's necessarily one of my favourites. I think that does tend to be more the likes of Misty Lake, etc. But it is still really nice. And this is a very interesting gimmick for a level, because it's all to do with sort of using motion control to shine light on crystals. It's weird, but I kind of like it.
Translator's note, weird means bad.
No, interesting is basically the LP shorthand for I don't really want to give a conclusive answer here, because I'm trying to play the field and not be too negative or too positive, but interesting in the fact that, yeah, it actually is one of the only first-person uses of motion controls in the game, which I brought up earlier, actually. And interesting in the fact that, yeah, maybe it could have been tweaked a little bit, because it is a little bit fiddly to get to grips with. Look at that, we've got a mimic here. How about that?
Yeah, we get all the fake item chests and all that shit just to try and catch you out, but I will say I don't like this particular mission because the motion controls are quite fiddly. I've never really been able to perfectly get it in the right direction. Like, sometimes I'm holding the Wiimote and I'm tilting it and it seems to have like a lock where it can't go any further, which is really hard to work around.
Yeah. I think the other thing with it is that frequently what ends up happening is that you've got all the enemies that end up congregating around the light, and sometimes you've got to run forward to attack them, to run back, to go back to the light to break the crystal. I think you can use the light to destroy the enemies, but sometimes obviously if you're really, well, as you can see there, you can use the light to destroy the enemies, but frequently they appear just too close to the light for you to be able to do that, so you end up having to, do the backflip, which, while definitely much better than it ever was in Secret Rings, it's still a little bit faffy.
Well, it's more to me that it's like that light thing, it moves too slowly to reliably use it to hurt the enemies. Like, they're gonna get to you before you can get to them.
Nice. I love a good buzzsaw combo. It looks nice, at least. I just wish there was a bit more depth to the sword play and whatnot, but whatever, the mission's over, so I guess I'm complaining about nothing.
Yep, you are.
That was tight.
That was indeed tight. You couldn't have made that more, thematically appropriate. Ooh, that was tight.
No, we couldn't, Tom.
Don't correct me, Richie. I know that wasn't appropriate.
Yeah, I have no words, just please never do that again. I mean, it's the same as earlier today, I don't know why, but I used the term chillax in a sentence, and I was just like, yeah, no, I'm never saying that again, because that just sounded so wrong coming out of my gob.
What a Richie problem. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you've got an image to uphold, Rich. You can't let it slack.
Well, he's not a solo LPer now. He exclusively works for HFC on the side, so...
Yeah, although, I mean, I don't think when this goes up, my final part will have gone out yet, but as of the recording this, I have finished recording all of my solo playthroughs now, which is... That was a moment when I was doing the last couple. I was just like, oh god, I'm actually doing this after sort of 10 years, like, oh god. But it's the right decision for me, and it's going to be a lot of fun using all that time that I don't have to spend doing that on other things.
It's fine, we can all give you more work.
No, I'm going to stick to the whole one session week just because I do value Richie's time, and he's given me more of enough of his over the years that I think I can give him that slight reprieve, you know?
You damn straight.
I fucking pay you for these, I'm not asking for nothing here.
I know.
Gosh.
But still, I've got a real job, so I kind of have to focus on that one.
Wow, Richie.
Yeah, he's got a real job, Tom, get fucked.
That was just a 1-2 punch. Whatever.
I mean, like, this, like, fucking YouTube shit's my technical job now as well, so, like, I can't get too sassy, although it's still fun to make the jabs.
Yeah, you 2-star bitch.
Yeah, well, fuck you. Like, I do this shit for free for you, so you're not getting a full 3 stars.
Oh, fair enough, mate, fair enough. And, like, for every 10 quid I give you, it, like, goes up a star.
Yeah, you gotta pay me for quality here.
Sonic must proceed at a brisk pace. Oh?
You've been waiting here the whole time?
This is
Sorry about that.
eerily convenient. There's more about this child than meets the eye, I fear.
Well, I mean, yes, I mean, you can kind of tell from who voices her. It was pretty clear from the off who it was actually.
Yeah, it was Nemu the whole time.
Which, yeah, he's just testing Sonic chivalry. I don't know about the whole ethics side of that, whether you should put someone in a dangerous situation to test their loyalty, but hey.
It's fucking Sonic the Hedgehog, you know? I think he can get his way out of, like, further dangerous situations, even more dangerous situations than these. Do we know the names of Lancelot and Gawain's blades, Richard?
Oh, give me a second.
I'll look it up.
Well, I don't. Yeah, you're going to be quicker at it than me, and I mean, we really don't have that much time left on this particular part. There's like less than a minute left, I think, so the chances of me getting there is small.
Oh, the very first sword that Sonic uses is actually called Clarent. It is based on a sword mentioned in the 4-3-4-6 line Middle English alliterative poem, alliterative Mort Arthur. It was a sword used in knighting ceremonies, yet stolen by Mordred, with which Arthur receives his fatal blow. I will read more about this next time, actually, because this is very interesting. I love weapon lore and whatnot, so why was Sonic giving Caliburn those eyes? I see those eyes in my nightmares. Jesus Christ. We'll see you guys next time for the penultimate part of the story in Sonic and the Black Knight. See you then.